Here's what we're about to get into on today's Rumors Roundup of NFL Daily. Some Aaron Rodgers conversation and the, from ESPN, floated idea of benching Aaron Rodgers. Don't shoot the messenger. The latest on Odell Beckham and where he could sign. The Cowboys clearly in the mix there. Colts coaching news is the nice way of putting it. I might go chaos. Josh Allen and some late-breaking Matthew Stafford injury news. We begin, though, with Aaron Rodgers, as there's no way around it. Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers have struggled this year, and there's plenty of blame to go around, and Rodgers does deserve at least some of that. I mean, you can watch the Lions game of just two brutal red zone interceptions. One was off the face of a defender. One he just underthrew in the red zone by 5 yards, which is pretty shocking to see. Rodgers doesn't look like Rodgers. I'll call him A.A. Ron instead of Aaron Rodgers today. ESPN, as part of their overreaction, was like, should they bench Aaron Rodgers? And I'm like, I don't know about that one. We'll talk about Devondre Campbell's comments on Jordan Love in a minute. But this is not the Aaron Rodgers we are accustomed to seeing. These numbers are all far below his more typical career production and highs. It's been a drastic dip. To already have 7 interceptions is more than what Aaron Rodgers has done in years. 64.7% completion rate, only 2,000 yards, and we're roughly halfway through the season. Let me put this in some more perspective. He was NFL MVP back-to-back years, and that level of production is not remotely what we're expected to. Since he became a starter, so far this year, Aaron Rodgers has a career-low QBR, a career-low yards per pass attempt, the most interceptions since 2016 already, and his lowest completion percentage in 3 seasons. This is not the Aaron Rodgers we're used to. This does not look like the Hall of Fame MVP caliber quarterback who had gone just honestly borderline peak Rodgers the last 2 years. It's been a sudden and drastic fall for the future Hall of Fame quarterback. And there's, plenty of blame to go around, right? The offensive line is injured and bad. The receiving core is perhaps the worst in the NFL, but Rodgers is missing throws he almost always makes as well. And that does open up question marks of, okay, what's going on here? And is this the end of the road for Aaron Rodgers? So sound off for me in the comments. I'm not going to give him the washed label yet, but it is troubling. Do you think Aaron Rodgers is now washed up? Y for yes, N for no. It's the pinned comment on today's video. If the ad break happens to come here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. What's also noteworthy is this comment made by Devondre Campbell talking with Dalen Levitt, one of the safeties for Green Bay, and Levitt was offering all this praise for Jordan Love, and Campbell goes, the star linebacker. Jordan Love's a starting quarterback. He's better than a lot of starting quarterbacks. That's helped cause maybe give Jordan Love a chance. Is he better, though? Is he a franchise guy? Jordan Love's in a really weird situation with Green Bay, where his contract's almost up. He hasn't played very much. Green Bay doesn't really know what they have in him beyond getting reps against the starters and defense in practice, but that's still practice work. His career numbers have not been very good in a rather small sample size. If Green Bay's out of the playoff mix down the stretch, maybe you do want to see what Jordan Love can do, whether for yourself or as a trade chip, since nobody really wants him right now. So the Packers' 2 QBs, pick one for me. AR for Aaron Rodgers or JL for Jordan Love. I'm still riding with Rodgers, but you guys can sound off in the comments. Let's go to the latest on Odell Beckham Jr. The free agency tour, whirlwind, whatever, continues as the Dallas Cowboys have now become the subject of the interest. Jerry Jones, Cowboys owner, Mike McCarthy, Zeke Elliott, Micah Parsons, more, all making very public comments expressing interest in Odell Beckham. Now, Beckham could be cleared medically this week, but the return to a field is likely more in December. Beckham, as he should, by the way, keeping his options open. Some updated odds on what team will end up signing Odell Beckham next. The Bills are your betting favorite per BetUS, plus 250. Green Bay, plus 350, which I'm not betting on Green Bay. They're kind of in a rough spot. Cowboys, Giants, very strong teams to watch. I love the Ravens and the Niners as dark horses, plus Tennessee there. But whenever Odell Beckham decides to sign, where do you think he ends up heading to. Make those predictions for me in the comments section. What team ends up landing Odell Beckham Jr.? Now, Beckham down the stretch, in theory, will make a nice little impact for you. Much like he did for the Rams last year, he really stepped up in the late postseason run, was maybe going to win Super Bowl MVP before getting hurt. He is not prime Odell Beckham any longer. So a lot of your current NFL players, by the way, remember watching peak and prime Odell Beckham early in his career with the Giants, probably put him on their Madden teams, etc. I think that's why so many players have interest in OBJ. You're not going to get prime OBJ. But he's still better than a lot of number 3s and certainly some number 2s as well. Today's NFL Daily is made possible by Established Titles. It's a fun, unique way to help preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland and helping global reforestation efforts in the process. It's based on the historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. They plant a tree with every order and work with global charities, One Tree Planted, and Trees for the Future to support global reforestation efforts. You could officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane tickets, dating profiles, etc. Makes a great last-minute gift. And the first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot within a few minutes of walking distance. So depending on how many of you want to become a lord or a lady, we can build our little NFL Daily and Chat Sports kingdom. It makes an amazing last-minute gift. Established Titles is actually having a massive early Black Friday sale right now with discounts up to 80% off. Plus, if you use code CHAT, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/chat to get your gifts now and help support the channel. I will make note the link and promo code are in both the comments section and in the description. Let's move to the Indianapolis Colts, and I can only describe what they are currently doing as both unprecedented and borderline unbelievable. In fact, it's a little bit unserious by Indianapolis. You have fired Frank Reich, you fired Marcus Brady, you benched Matt Ryan, and now you've made Jeff Saturday the interim head coach, whose previous coaching experience is 3 years of slightly above 500 results at a Georgia high school no one's ever heard of, especially outside of Georgia. Parks Frazier, which sounds like a Madden-generated name, is the new offensive coordinator after he was the assistant quarterbacks coach for the Colts. Not the real quarterbacks coach, the assistant to the quarterbacks coach, who was boys with Frank Reich. Also, why did they fire Marcus Brady? He did not call the plays in Indy. Jim Irsay's gone mad with just firing everybody, and I still think it's an elongated tanking scheme. The choice of Jeff Saturday as interim head coach is ludicrous. You had multiple different coaches who have either been a CFL head coach, a college head coach, and running backs coach Scotty Montgomery, former NFL head coaches John Fox, Gus Bradley, some semblance of promising coaches like Bubba Ventrone, the special teams coordinator. To go with Jeff Saturday, the Colts are not trying to win football games, which is fine if you want to tank, but it's also a slap in the face to every coach on that Colts coaching staff that, wait, it's Jeff? Who doesn't know anything about being an NFL coach? He doesn't. He hasn't done any of the work to get to this point. It is truly insane to me that this is where we're at, that the Colts have promoted Jeff Saturday as interim head coach. This is like making Charles Woodson the Raiders interim coach, which is like be cool, but like that's not who you would hire. It just doesn't. Just because you're an analyst doesn't mean you're a coaching candidate. You would have been off making Rex Ryan your interim coach in all seriousness. Now, the Colts are probably not going to hire Jeff Saturday as their next head coach. Who will they hire? Make those predictions for me in the comments section. Now, if you have other ideas or if you don't have a great answer, we broke it down. Some Frank Reich replacements, 10 head coaching candidates for the Colts, as producer Jack loves the little Jeff Saturday peeking out over the logo. He loves that thumbnail. That's what the video looks like. It's on the channel. It'll be linked in the comment section in the description as well, which you knew about if you subscribe to us here at Chat Sports. Let's hit some NFL injury news and notes. We begin with Josh Allen and the situation on that front here. Battling an elbow injury. The exact details are not that clear. Been some conflicting reports of, could it be UCL? Well, you don't want Tommy John, that's bad. But Allen did not participate at practice today. The Bills are currently calling him day-to-day, which I think is a bit vague. The line in Vegas, and this is your key, has gone from Bills by 9.5 against a good Vikings team down to 4. Some as low as 3.5. A nearly touchdown swing is a very clear sign. Vegas does not think Josh Allen is going to play this week against the Minnesota Vikings. That's your little early alert. Allen's been great this year. There have been some mistakes, especially the past couple weeks. The offense almost looks like they're trying to challenge themselves too much and almost getting bored at times, it seems. Allen has been awesome this year. 19 touchdowns, a little high on the interceptions. There's 8. He's the reason he was in the MVP conversation. If Allen cannot go, Case Keenum revenge game alert, along with Stephon Diggs. He'll be going up against the Minnesota Vikings if Allen, and I'm going to guess, cannot go against Minnesota, but we'll keep an eye on that throughout the week. Then the late injury news today is Matthew Stafford, the Rams quarterback, is in the concussion protocol. That was broken by head coach Sean McVay at his Wednesday press conference. Stafford entered the protocol today, not Sunday, not Monday, Wednesday. So what apparently happened is Stafford suffered the concussion on Sunday, stayed in the game, didn't have symptoms until Wednesday, and now goes in the protocol, throwing into doubt his availability for a rather critical game coming up for the Rams, because if they keep losing, well, they're not going to make the postseason, and that'd be a pretty big disappointment for LA.